Hi, everybody. This is Jeffrey at Tarot Tuesday at Red Color, Tarot Tuesdays, and this is Scott Allen from Spirit. How do I say the name of your station? Spiritual Essence Tarot.
Scott Allen, Spiritual Essence, but
Scott Allen.
you can see my real names on Zoom.
My real name's on Zoom too.
Yeah, Scott, but I'm kind of incognito with the Scott Allen. Yeah.
Don't anyone tell.
But that's my middle name. So anyway.
I just did my numerology and it changed everything with my middle name, but let's I thought I was a 1 and I'm a 5 now. Okay.
Well, we've had many lives, and
Exactly.
we're many things.
Exactly. And more to come. More to come.
More to come. Yes.
So this week we are on card number 10, and card number 10 is, this is the magic part of the video. The Wheel of Fortune. Fabulous. So on Tarot Tuesdays, we go through one card a week, and I have a guest every week who's an intuitive who reads cards, or one or the other, or I also have like people who are deductive readers as well as intuitives. And so this week, number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. So please tell us your interpretation, your experience, your feeling, your everything with the Wheel of Fortune.
Well, from my experience lately, I think every card has significant meaning. Not by going major arcana, minor arcana. They all have a great meaning together.
Mm-hmm.
But the Wheel of Fortune is the culmination of everything good to me. Well, I never read reversals.
Me neither.
So that's why, like any reading, I like to, when I throw them out there, to put some kind of spread. Mm-hmm. I use a box 9 spread. Mm-hmm. The traditional Celtic cross, whatever, you hear about. Mm-hmm. But I do 9, 3 for the past, 3 for the present, 3 for the future. Mm-hmm. And then 4 clarifiers. Mm-hmm. And I look at the negative cards compared to the positive cards, and players in the scenario will get to the meaning of where I want to go. Mm-hmm. So I don't like reading reversals. And so that's why kind of like clarifying is kind of iffy for me, like using a 3-card clarify, because I get so much more from a full spread.
Yeah.
Or not reversing and whatnot.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Wheel of Fortune is our circle of life. Mm-hmm. Things that come back around again, we may have to deal with. Mm-hmm. It's a culmination of events coming true. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have it's one of the best cards mm-hmm. in the deck, because it portrays your future as told. Your destiny is coming true.
Right.
And so I learned to read cards on my Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. I was obsessed with Lord of the Rings back in the day. I loved the series. And
I wish I had a cute ring to show you.
I don't wear my ring. But anyway, this one has the ring of what they were so obsessed about in the Lord of the Rings.
Right.
And it has a pentagram, or that symbol, the pyramid shape here with the rings, and it has and these also had little words that are associated with the Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. So the ring brings benefits, but eventually dominates. One ring to rule them all. And these meanings of what they said using this deck brings in more information,
Mhm.
you know, different scenarios. But it's like when you have a ring on your finger, you're in a marriage, or you're in a something secure.
Mhm.
That's part of the Wheel of Fortune in my mind too. You have security, you have
Mhm.
your homestead, you have balance in your life.
Mhm.
It brings everything together. And then the deck I created, my Farmer's Tarot,
Mhm.
and I put in wagon wheels. They
Mhm.
go around and around and around.
Mhm.
And the words I put in there was a circle of life. And the circle of life meant to me many years ago when I met my spirit guides through a dream.
Mhm.
And it was kind of weird. It brought me back to a scenario where I was at the roller rink that I grew up going to. You know, we go and meet girls, a bunch of guys would go, you know, who could drive, you know, maybe before I could drive, we'd go to this roller rink, you know, we'd all go there and meet girls, you know, 15, 16 years old, whatever.
And I think we're the same age. I think we're the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm 54,
I'm 58. Yeah.
pretty close, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was back in the day, the roller rink. So anyway, in my dream, I was at the roller rink, but up above, there was like rocks and some plant life and like a little waterfall scenario.
Mhm.
So I was up there and I was sitting next to two girls, ladies, but they were etherical, you know, like angels.
Mhm.
And in this scenario, that's after the fact, I realized they were my two spirit guides
Wow.
that I've had forever, the existence of my soul.
Right.
So we're looking down at the roller rink. So we got all these people going around in a circle doing the roller skating. But I was placed in this roller rink scenario, even though I was up there next to my spirit guides, I was going around. And every once in a while I'd see like my teachers from high school,
Mhm.
or I'd see someone I met, and I'd see strangers,
Mhm.
you know, but I'd see familiars.
Mhm.
So it's like people coming into your life when you need them,
Right.
right?
Right.
And that's what I got from the whole,
Right.
besides meeting my spirit guides. One looked like a blonde, another one looked like a short-haired brunette. You know, they just look like angels, but that's what they portrayed themselves. But that's what the whole scenario of that roller rink meant to me, is that the circle of life of you meeting people for a specific task at that time.
Right.
You know, and growing up, you know, your father, your mother, your teachers, your coaches, you know, in sports or whatever, your art teacher, whatever it may be, they all put an imprint on your life.
Right.
And then you have other people that come in your life. So that's what it meant to me, because it's like I'm going around a circle, like I see familiars, but I see people that I don't know,
Mhm.
you know, and these are people you're going to meet,
Mhm.
you know, your soul family.
Mhm.
So that's a lot has to do with that circle of life and that wheel of fortune.
That's beautiful.
Everything coming together soul wise for your journey.
Right. Exactly.
And so that also has to do with fate and
Right.
your karma,
Right.
luck, everything coming together. Your positive changes. And since it's movement too, it can also mean travel.
Right.
You know, you could be going on a vacation, or, you know, be traveling for work or whatever. And it could be getting, you know, in a reading, if it comes down at the end, it can mean you might get some inheritance or a lucky scratch off, whatever it may be.
Mhm.
It's the wheel of fortune to me is all things that are good.
Nice.
So if you get the Wheel of Fortune, lucky draw.
It's like 3 cherries.
Yeah, it's one of the most powerful cards to me, because it can mean so many things.
Mhm.
Let's see, what else can it mean? It means good times.
Mhm.
It means happiness.
Hmm.
It means learning.
Hmm.
So yeah, and like with this, you got the ring.
Right.
Frodo's always trying to keep the ring and whatnot, and
Right.
guard it. You got the ring with that Wheel of Fortune. And like when I do my readings too, it all depends where
Absolutely.
things land.
Absolutely.
So
Right.
when you're shuffling and you're making your card read, if that Wheel of Fortune comes up near the front of the reading, or let's say if you're doing a past, present, future,
Mhm.
and it comes up in the past, that would mean to me you had it all,
Wow.
but you blew it,
Wow.
right? You have some learning to do to get that Wheel of Fortune back,
Mhm.
you know.
To get
And
back on your
and,
karmic path.
and if it comes in
Yeah.
the present scenario, you figured it out.
Right.
If it comes in the future scenario, you're on your path,
Mhm.
and it's going to happen. You know, you're going to get your white picket fence, or you are going to get your security. But if it's in the past position that comes up first, well, you got some learning to do. You got
Yeah.
some growth to do.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You got to stop complaining. You know, it means a lot where a card lands, and that's how I do my readings with.
Right. And also, for me, like in terms of reading, like if I get the Wheel of Fortune, I get a lot of 10s with it. It's like there's a whole era that's done. There's like a whole era because it's a 10 also. So I always read it also. I always read all the
Right.
cards as their number also, always. It's really
Yeah.
important for me, like the number thing to it. The thing that the Wheel of Fortune always screams, like when I pick it up, you know, it's evolution of the soul. You've evolved. It's like you took all this stuff in, and I always think of it as almost like the cogs of a inside a clock, and it's almost like you're standing on one of those little spikes, but because the Wheel of Fortune shows up, it's like, oh, you just went up one. You know, you gained knowledge, or you've gained experience, and you sort of just went up. It's like you graduated. There's like a certain sense of like, but not graduated from 6th grade to 7th grade. It's like you're in high school now, or you're in college now. You know, there's an energy of like you really evolved. You really understood lessons. You're able to like utilize them. You learned something, and you evolved. That's what I always get from the Wheel of Fortune. It's like, oh, evolution of the soul. That's what I always.
Yeah. It
That's-
could mean completing steps.
yeah.
You know, grade school to junior high to high school to
Yeah.
college to finding your soulmate, you know,
Yeah.
having children. It's a culmination,
Yeah.
completion.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It
Yeah.
makes sense
There's
with
just like a soul energy.
the
There's a
yeah,
real soul energy to this card.
it makes sense with all the other tens, you know, swords, coins.
Yeah.
The tens are always great things.
Yeah.
You know, if you get the 10 of wands, it's a burden and a horrible card, but you're at the end of it.
Right.
You're coming out.
Right.
That 10 of swords, you can't get any worse.
Yeah.
You can only go up. So, you know,
Actually, I love the Ten of Swords because
yeah,
it's a
if
really
you think
cool
about
looking
it,
card. But for me, the Ten of Swords means that way of thinking no longer works, and you're done with it. So and then the new dawn is rising in the Ten of Swords. I'm like, oh, you got that, and like a new dawn rising. It's like, you might as well stay up all night.
as long as your future cards are good. If you
Yeah.
have a 10 of swords in the present, and then you all of a sudden you get a 5 of cups and a 5 of coins, oh, you're in for a struggle.
Yeah. The fives are
Yeah.
interesting. The fives are really
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
You know, Ten of Cups is always a wonderful card. It's all about
Yeah.
family and love and success.
And the rainbow. The
Yeah,
promise realized. Yeah.
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 I never really thought about that. Honestly, you know, the 10 being it, you know, the Wheel of Fortune. That makes a lot of sense. And adding that one to the knowledge.
See, you never know. That's why I like to have conversations with different people, because it's sort of like, oh, okay, you taught me this, I taught you that. You know, it's sort of like we're in the kitchen together and you're like, you should add some onion. I mean, if whatever you told me to add onion to, I would agree to. So
I like onion.
I love onion.
And mushrooms.
So it's like add onion. It's like, wow, this whole dish came alive.
Yes. Little sauteed mushrooms and onions.
Now I'm getting hungry.
I know, right? Make me an omelet.
The other thing for me that always sticks out with this card is because we have the 4 fixed signs, right? These are the fixed signs. It's Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo.
Yeah.
And the fixed sign, and you know, because it's the wheel, right? And because it's, so the wheel is like the wheel of astrology, the wheel of cycle. I mean, the wheel is everything. But you know, the ancients understood the fixed sign because there were fixed stars there. That's how like they set themselves up. It's like, well, that star is always going to be there, so we know we can rely on it. And there's an energy in fixed signs in general of something really manifesting, of something that it manifests. It's present in the heavens, but it's also present on the earth. Because like the fixed sign, like the cardinal signs all begin the seasons. The cardinal signs have this energy of beginning, of like an explosion of fire, right? And then the mutable signs, you know, they're diplomatic. They can, you know, move with the way things are going. You know, oh, maybe I'll go up on the hill, maybe I'll go down the hill. The fixed signs have that stubborn focus. I'm going to make this happen here. You know, it's like that energy. So it's almost like the energies of heaven come down and like establish themselves on earth. Very Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah. One ring rules it all.
I always get that energy with it as well.
Makes sense.
You know,
made me think of a card I made in my Oracle deck. I gotta find it here quick. It relates to you know, you're kind of making a reference to astrology. The Wheel of Fortune also are planet movements. You know, there.
That's beautiful.
Find your soul family. It's a circle of life. You know, people come in our lives in and out. And so we have all these planets that rotate around the sun.
Right.
And in astrology, that changes everything.
Right.
And when people come in our lives in that circle, they're either for life or longer or for a lesson.
Right.
So that's all part of finding your soul family.
Right.
Who you're going to keep and who you're going to.
Right. And it's interesting when you were talking about the whole thing, you know, of course, like, you know, your immediate family and the people you work with and things like that are going to be in that realm. But also this, I was getting this impression, you know how sometimes you're at a party and you meet somebody that you'll never see again. Maybe they're just visiting town, they're a friend of a friend, and they trigger something off in you. They say something, or they make a recommendation, or you start talking to them about, I don't know, a business you're starting or whatever. And they throw in this, like, it's almost like an angel coming and it's like giving you a little hint. It's like, you should try it like that. Or my friend tried it like that and it really worked. And it's like, ding, 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 ding. Sometimes that's part of like, you know, so it's almost like the Knight of Swords. Like he comes in, he drops a message and he leaves. He's got, you know, it's like he's a pizza guy. He rings the bell, he runs away. I can't even tip him. but like, I really wanted pepperoni. I didn't order it, but I got it anyway. So sometimes I feel like, you know, there are people around us like that, that you hear something or you see something, or it makes you think of something or reminds you of something. And it's like, they did their job.
Yeah.
You know, they did their job. It's almost like, here's a little message, here's a little gift for you. Gotta go. Enjoy. It's a little bit like that sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a little
It's
bit
like I tell other people, whatever, you know, if you always keep yourself happy and loved and respectful for other people, you never know if you can brighten someone else's day.
absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
if it's just, you know, you're walking around and you see someone kind of moping, whatever, you know, even a hello and a wink
Yeah.
can maybe change someone's
Yeah.
day. And oh, there is nice people in this world, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Or even, and I've done this before, just standing in line, you know, blah, 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 you know, waiting for your groceries, and you're 5 deep and you're just kind of bored waiting. And it's like, look at the front person in front of you and like, well, that's a very pretty dress, or that's quite the blouse you have on today. How you doing? You know, just strike up a conversation. It can brighten someone's life.
Yeah.
And day.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I think we're all here to spread light. I really do.
That's the
really
best way to
we're
move.
all here to spread light.
It's the best way to roll.
Yeah.
And,
you know, so there's a park in the middle of the city, and it used to be like the market for the Aztecs. It's amazing. And it's very flat. It's a few blocks big, but it's very flat, and it's laid out in this beautiful way with marble and incredible statues and trees. It's just very plain, but there are a lot of circles in the park, and they do something different in every circle. They dance different dances in every circle. So there's one kind of music, I'm not even sure what it's called, but it's almost like, it has, you know, they dance like this. It's almost like salsa, but it's slower. It's like, it's a little sexier actually than salsa. And these people show up with like a boom box, and these old people show up and they dance. They walk with canes and shit. And then they show up and it's like they're just floating around. And I go there a lot on Sundays because it just fills me with so much joy to see them like doing their thing. And some of them are they're like in their 80s. They're not, you know, there's this married couple, and I don't know, like the clothes they wear, like, I don't even know how old they are, you know, and they are so smooth. They are so smooth. And he twists it around with her hands, and her hands go like this and like that. And then he goes. So that's part of the circle of life too, you know?
Yeah,
Being
I wish I could
witness
move like that.
to other people. Oh, he's there. And it's because it's sort of like a salsa dance. So like the man and the woman, and then the twist and this and that. And then they do separate things, and they come together again. But there's a little bounce to it, just a little bit of a bounce, almost like a Lindy in a way. It's so beautiful. I really want to learn how to dance like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember my family surprised me with my 50th birthday party. And I used to be a dancer quite a bit, you know, in the bars back in the day, and having the dance club, you know, and all this dance music, rap or whatever. I just go crazy and whatever I felt like moving, getting down or getting low or whatever, right? So some of my sisters and siblings knew some of the songs I would dance to. And there's some videos on Facebook, me dancing and or karaoke or whatever, right? But anyway, so they had the DJ play some of these old hits, and I was supposed to do my thing again. I did. I couldn't get as low as I used to, but I swear I hurt for like 5 days.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh my
I
God,
know.
no.
I
I
know.
think that circle of life is gone.
I went dancing here on, it was Gay Pride. I don't know. It was in New York, it's on Sunday. Here was the Saturday before. And I went to the parade. And then people were like, oh, let's go. Anyway, I went to this nightclub. I was like the oldest person there. And they all would like busy, and it's like my Spanish is like, and it's like, I didn't come here to chitter chatter. I came here to fucking dance. And people are standing, and I'm thinking, it's like, shut up and dance. Just shut up and dance. I didn't come here to talk. We can go somewhere else to talk. Anyway, I ended up dancing for like 4 or 5 hours, nonstop. And it was so good for me. It was so good for my soul. It was so good for my spirit. And I'm really glad I went. I'm really, really glad I went. I'm really glad.
Yeah, it's excellent. It's nice once in a while just to let loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Release what's going on through dance.
Yeah.
Like, who cares who's looking at you? They're
please.
just sitting at the bar doing shots. You're living life.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I mean, and it's also because I'm living in a foreign country, I think, and for a lot of reasons, but it's like maybe my age also. It's like, oh, well, oh, someone's not going to like you. It's like, really? Like, I'm not here looking for a boyfriend, or I'm here to dance. Dance. And I have to say, there were a lot of people there because it was Gay Pride, and they just like kept on letting more and more people in. It was kind of crazy. But people were like, it felt like old time, like it used to in New York. Like I was dancing with strangers, they were dancing with me. Everybody was singing. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. It was so like let loose. It felt great. It felt great. Okay. Now, do you have anything else to add about the Wheel of Fortune?
What's that? Oh, that card.
Wheel of Fortune.
I was enjoying talking about our
I know, but it is
life. But this is all relatable. Our life experiences, our circle of life, and what we're experiencing.
It is, and that is the circle of life. The circle of life is some days you go dancing, and some days you cook, and some days you see your friends, and some days you do things that are not so much fun.
Right. Some days you sit on the couch and cry with a beer and watch TV. Things happen. It's the circle of life.
Someday you sit around and make voodoo dolls of people that
well, we don't want to go that far, or at least tell anyone. My singing bowl. I just sit around and hug my Buddha. Make me feel better, Buddha. This baby's heavy. It's like 2 pounds, my little Buddha.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I like collecting things.
Well, I used to like collecting things, but I don't have anything left. So I had to manage to, the thing.
Well, you're an artist. You could draw your own Buddha.
I know. I've been really, it's been calling me to really start making art again, but I need a space. I need it. You can't, I'm renting, it's not cool. It's very messy. It's not cool, but I know that it's coming. I could feel it coming. I could feel it coming. I really can. I have I have a lot of ideas, and it'll happen when it happens. It'll happen when it happens.
Quite a journey.
It is indeed.
You have bigger cojones than I have. I have my daughters close to me, so that's be really tough for me to take that leap.
Yeah, it's interesting because the conversations I've been having, I was talking to somebody about this today. So there are some people, I know there are people in my life I know for over 30 years. And then there are some people who are so super supportive of me, and they're like, you're doing the right thing. This is your soul's journey. And I support you 1,000%. I'm so happy for you. Right. And then there are other people who it's almost like, I feel like, not almost like it is, not almost, it is like they want to draw me back into misery. They want to draw me back into the past. Oh, you gotta reestablish what was in the past. And it's like, mm, I'm not there. I'm somewhere else. I'm somewhere else. And it doesn't call me. It's really interesting. So part of my part of the people in my life see me as moving forward into the future, and they're like, yay. And there are other people who are like, I don't think they're that happy for me, honestly.
Well, they're obviously miserable.
Yeah, it's been
You
really
can't,
interesting to
you can't
observe.
be happy for a friend and their journey.
Yeah,
They want you in your own, they want to be in misery, want you to be in misery where they're misery.
right.
And it's been said numerous times, we don't know what a person is behind closed doors.
Right.
They may have this persona.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then behind closed doors, they're beating their spouse or
Right.
whatever. Right.
You don't know what's going on with somebody else's kitchen.
We don't know.
Right.
And we just need to respect another person as another loving soul on their journey.
Yeah.
And that's a problem with some people, that they don't respect it.
Yeah.
But if they're, and that could be your lesson too, to like,
Well, as we were talking about it, I was thinking of the Wheel of Fortune. You remember that ride in New York? They used to call it the hellhole, where it's like a round thing and it starts going really, really fast, and you stick to the wall, right?
Yeah.
And you drop the floor out.
Yeah.
In Coney Island, they called it the hellhole. And there's always someone who vomits on that thing.
Yeah.
But it's almost like that's also part of the circle of life. It's like, let it go. And then the ones who aren't supposed to stick.
Hopefully it ain't like that one movie. What the heck was that called? I forgot what it was, but there where the people would see premonition of the accident happening.
Oh, was that the one with John Travolta?
No, they had a series of like 4 or 5 movies.
Okay.
But they're getting on a plane and they had a premonition that it was going to crash, and all their friends got off, but then death comes back to get them.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, there was one that was about a roller coaster. They got off the roller coaster and the roller coaster crashed. They just made me think of that when you said people flying off. It was like, if you don't make that leap, you won't be saved.
Right.
Kind of thing,
Right.
If you're not happy where you're at, make that leap.
Right.
That's
right.
And people, like we said before, people come in our lives for certain reasons, lessons or otherwise. So if they can't support you, maybe they're not your soul family.
Right. Or it morphed. Sometimes people are in our lives even for years, and it's like, okay, we have fulfilled our contract. It's kind of like, you hire a plumber. You're not going to invite him to dinner. He came, he fixed the sink. Thanks a lot. Nice to meet you. I wish you well. Bye.
That was it.
And maybe in a year from now, I might need you again because,
yeah.
But,
left a good impression, did a good job.
Right.
That's the first person you're going to think of to call.
Right. But it's not, sometimes I think people get caught up and it's like, well, I owe something to someone or they owe me something. None of us owe anything to anyone and no one owes anything to us. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's, that's a hard lesson to learn, but
not unless you give your best friend a couple $1,000 and then you don't get it back. Then it's a lesson like, yeah, okay, I see how it is. I see your priorities are at.
yeah,
You used me a little bit to get your benefits. Yeah, your wheel of fortune is a little different than mine.
yeah.
So, ooh, it struck a chord because my ears started ringing. Usually there's a message coming in here that maybe I doing the wrong thing. Because that's relevant, because I did loan a friend money to fix his vehicle. So after we're done here, I think I need to ask what that meant.
Okay.
That only happens when there's a message coming in that I need to wake up or understand.
See, I get most of my stuff. I get a little hearing. I really get the feeling.
Yeah, it's usually feeling.
Yeah, that's my main road, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
I
the
remember
other ones are service roads.
right.
I usually take the highway.
I thought it was just another story quick. I remember I was talking to my daughter, and the one that's married and pregnant now, but this was a couple years ago. So we're on the phone and I'm talking about, she's finishing college and she's talking about stuff, and obviously she only calls me when she needs a little money, but so all of a sudden, we're talking, all of a sudden my ears start ringing like crazy, right? So I stopped listening to her. I'm like, what? Okay. I asked her, are you thinking about getting pregnant? And she's like, how did you know? I was like, I don't know. My ears started ringing like crazy, and the guides told me you're thinking about getting pregnant. Well, yeah, I have been. It's just crazy. And but thank God she waited until she was married to make it more comfortable, because it was a little bit early when this was happening before marriage, but it was just so funny when my ears started ringing. There's a message coming in. I just had to stop, quick, listen, like, what? And I'm like, okay, honey, are you trying to get pregnant? How did you know, Dad? Hello. A little bit psychic here. It's all good stuff.
Well, see, now that we read the Wheel of Fortune, I think that we're both going to have, and everyone watching is going to have like a nice gift this week, a nice, I don't know, surprise, a nice experience, something sweet. Something sweet.
Sweet. Oh, the Chariot.
Nice.
Something's moving forward. We're taking charge with that Wheel of Fortune.
Yay.
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 I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Oh, and why don't we, okay, so why don't you put in a plug for all the things that you do? So you read personally, am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm a truck driver by day and try to squeeze in personal readings and YouTube and substance.
And what on your channel, you have two distinct shows on your channel as well, right? Or three?
Two. Basically two. Okay. I always try to do Sunday morning coffee.
Right.
Read some political stuff.
Right. And this Sunday, I'm not going to wear this. I'm going to wear something else.
It's up to you.
No, I already made a decision.
All right.
Because I'm evolving.
Pretty in pink. We'll go with that. Yeah, every other week I've been doing well, Andrew and I did mystery theater for oh gosh, 18 months every week. And so we kick that back to every other week.
Excuse me.
And then I join other channels as I can that ask to collab with them. And as time, when inspired by spirit, I do channel.
One time you had one where you in the truck, I don't even remember what the channeling was. And it was like a really short YouTube video. And I was like, holy shit, is he getting information? Because you know what it is when I listen to other people, even when I just listen to the news or something, I just get this like, that's the fucking truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. Or sometimes, you're watching the news and it's like, there's more to this story. There's something, so they're not telling me something. But there was one you did in the truck and I was like, oh my God, you just like, it was a download. And I was like, 100%, 100%. Like I could feel it. I don't remember what it was. It was during like the real deep Trumpy, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, isn't this interesting?
Well, that's always a good feeling. I said, it's not me.
Right.
I mean, if I do a political figure or a historical figure, I'll look up the basics just to know who they are.
Right.
Because even though it's coming from spirit, I don't understand, or will hear who their wives were or stuff like that. Right. It's more of what the soul wants to say.
Right.
So let's say it's, I don't know, Betsy Ross. Let's just put a name out there. Let's say I'm going to channel Betsy Ross. Well, I'm going to look up who Betsy Ross is, but the energy has to be there.
Right.
Or the connection.
Right.
The soul has to say, yes, I'm willing to speak.
Right.
So I just don't randomly do it.
Well, it's almost like they're knocking.
Right. They're knocking.
Right.
When it's inspired.
Right.
I hear a knocking coming, but when I have the time and when my energy is good, it's going to happen. I'm not going to say who, but it's there. I know, what's his name? So anyway, when voting rights comes back up again,
I know you.
Who's that?
I can see him, but I don't know his name.
He's from Baltimore. He's from Baltimore. He passed away.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Elijah Cummings.
Yeah.
His energy came to me.
He had a beautiful energy, alive.
Yeah.
There was something very, he had tremendous dignity. There was a sense of humility and dignity, like a true modesty. I don't know how else to say it. I know exactly who you mean, but I can't think of his name.
It was Elijah Cummings. Yeah, back in January, his energy, I'm just driving along. They always get inspired when I'm driving for work.
Yeah.
Just thinking, it's like you got these long drives, 90 miles from here to there or whatever, on the high interstate. Yeah. So I'm always just thinking. All of a sudden, like Elijah Cummings pops in my head. So I was planning on doing the channeling with him because it was so strong. But then I got busy, and then I was going to Punta Cana for my daughter's wedding, and it didn't work out. But that's when they were going to vote on the voting rights bill and try to get it passed, but it didn't happen.
Right.
So all of a sudden his energy pushed back, and it's like the timing wasn't right.
Right.
So he said, I'll come back and we'll, channel, talk when the time's right, when the voting rights,
right?
Because that's what it was all about.
Right.
You want to talk about people, voting rights, equality, and that kind of stuff.
That's probably why he incarnated. That's a big part of his life thing. Because
Yeah.
I think he was with King when he died.
I sense like there's a like an a soul group together now.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
when you're talking like,
yeah.
you know, Elijah Cummings and oh God, who's the other one that passed here? I hate losing names. He was in that bridge. He was arrested. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
South. Yeah,
Yeah.
him and like MLK and
Yeah.
all these
Yeah, no,
great
it's a soul
people.
family. I mean, that's how we come in. So, there's also these understandings that there are soul families like artist soul families that come in together that are
Right.
supposed to change, like that's why these art movements come at once and everyone's sort of on the same page in a way. And just to push in a new way of looking at things, a new way of experience. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the
The
same thing
founding
with all
fathers
these.
were a soul family.
It's all the same thing with these horrific acts with these black men that passed from shootings and whatnot,
Yeah,
or George Floyd, whatever. They got this family. They're trying to create change.
yeah, yeah,
You know, the big news, the horrific acts,
yeah.
they come together to fire up people to create change.
Right, right. And that they're probably like political, like in the past, say, I mean, even hundreds of years ago, like political families that come in to change the way countries are run. And yeah, it's fascinating.
It is
It's
fascinating.
fascinating. I know. Yeah. And I think
Yeah,
the soul families are much bigger than we think.
yeah. It's just like the YouTube community.
Right.
The last thing I thought about in 2019 was joining YouTube.
Right.
But I was drawn, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. I
and
know. I started watching a few of the readers also, and I don't know, I had an impetus also to like, I was like, you need to do this. You need to do this. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did.
yeah,
Yeah. And it's taught me a lot and it's introduced me to people. And I have to say, like everyone, like when I had the fire, the amount of support that I got was unfathomable. It was unfathomable. And it was such a big part of like this soul lesson for me to allow myself to be loved in a way I never imagined possible. And it was so healing for me. It was so profoundly healing. But I think it also somehow healed the people who were given to be part of something other than, I don't know. And it was, some people would write, they'd send me $5 and they'd go into this whole sorry. It's like, sorry, thank you. Thank you.
yeah.
And it's really allowed me,
And it probably took a lot for them to send $5.
I know, I know.
Yeah, it could have been a sweet, generous grandma, but lives on a fixed income, but
Absolutely.
felt compelled to help you.
Absolutely. And it was enormous for me. It was enormous for me. It really was.
I know what you're feeling. I mean, from my soul, I hate to ask for money. I
Yeah.
hate to ask for help
Yeah.
because I'm a kind of a proud person. I
Yeah.
want to stand on my own 2 feet.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
it's funny you should say that because I now we're going, on to Tuesdays. But that's the energy to me, the six of coins. The six of coins is such a profound card, the balance.
mhm.
And it's like when you look at that card, and if you're reading for yourself or you're reading for someone else, people automatically say to themselves, well, I'm the one who's like getting the money, or I'm the one who's giving. We're all of them. We're all three of them. Because the thing is, the guy who's giving the money is getting so much from giving. And then the one who asked for the help, which might have been like the most difficult thing, They got to grow in their soul, and they gave the one with the money the opportunity to give. So it's an enmeshment, it's balance. It's not about, oh, I have all the money, I'm going to give it to you, or oh, I ain't got anything, please. It's neither one of those things. It's an exchange. It's a flow. It's a flow.
It's like in today's society, be a Mark Cuban, not a I keep forgetting his name because I don't want to know him. The Tesla guy, Musk.
He's an oddball, isn't he?
He's an odd one. He's not giving, you know.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban is doing good things.
Yeah.
You know, he's got wealth and he's got a basketball team, but he created that app or whatever for low cost prescriptions.
Mhm.
What has Elon Musk done except lawsuits and people?
Yeah.
Manipulate Bitcoin and stock and be decisive.
Yeah.
No, the wrong energy.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, giving and receiving.
Yeah. It's really about,
I've never been a big receiver.
well, this is my experience. All the healers are not big on receiving. That's always the way it is. And that's the big lesson. That's the big lesson. That's why it was so enormous for me. And it just kept coming and coming, and I'm still in a way, receiving it. And even just now with the COVID. So like I'm at 98%. I don't want to say,
no one wants to receive COVID.
but everyone, like started praying and sending me healing. And believe me, I felt it. Believe me, I felt it. And I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful. And it's really important because, when you ask for help, and when you say, I don't know, or I need help, or, hold my hand, or listen to me, or whatever the hell it is, you're offering an opportunity for someone else to be useful, to be productive, to give love. And why would can I offer that opportunity for someone to give love? Because what's more beautiful than giving love? So I shouldn't be the only one who gives love. I should allow other people to give love too. Because it feels so freaking good. like it's a hot day. I'm in the pool. Everyone should jump in the pool. Let's all be in the pool. Splash, splash.
Splash.
It's like, it's a hot day. Get in the freaking pool.
It makes me think of the dogs in the pool. I see the Snapchats of my daughter's dogs. They're all spunky, and I got a lazy dog. He just lays on the couch. They're all in the little pools, kiddie pools, and they're my dog, or our dog Harry, just sleeps on
whatever.
Yeah. He doesn't want to get
Is it time to eat? Is it time to eat?
The only time he loves me is when I bring a bone back from work.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Other than that, who are you? Good times, though.
All right. So thank you so much again. And I'll see you on Sunday wearing something else.
Yeah, your call.
Huh?
Your call.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your mojo.
I'm so vain. I keep on thinking, like, once I get to stay here permanently, it's like, yeah, I'm going to get an apartment. I can't wait to go buy clothes. I have 7 shirts. I am so done with having 7 shirts. I can't even tell you.
Oh, you can't go get a shirt for $1 down there in Mexico?
Not the kind of shirts that I like.
Oh, your shirts.
And clothes are not that cheap down here. It's not.
No.
Clothes are cheaper in general in the United States.
Wow,
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. All right. Blessings. Thank
Blessings.
you. And
Love
thank
you
you all for
all.
tuning in and staying with us, and subscribe to both of us, become members of our channels, send us money, get readings, the whole thing.
Hit like, subscribe.
Yeah, like, subscribe, share, comment, press
Share,
the bell for
comment.
notifications.
Yeah, that thing.
All right, I'm gonna pause that. Thank you.